I've got another wonderful book for you today, and it is called Essays in Idleness. It was written in the 14th century Japan by Yoshida Kenkō, and it is one of the three representative works of the zuihitsu genre. The other one is Hojoki and the Pillow Book. Hojoki I've already discussed in one of the earlier podcasts. Now you might wonder, what is this zuihitsu genre? It is a genre in Japanese literature consisting of loosely connected personal essays and fragmented ideas that typically respond to the author's surroundings. And so is this book about, where Konki writes about loosely connected ideas and shares with them. These are really short essays. Some of you might have not even considered these essays, but these are some interesting thoughts fragmented over several chapters, and it's fun to read. So what I'm going to do in today's episode is I'm going to read few of these ideas, few of these essays, and I hope you're going to enjoy that. The first essay or the short idea that I'm going to discuss is the second one, and it talks about foolishness. Let me read it for you. It says, "Foolish and thoughtless are those who, forgetting this benevolent rule of the ancients, heedless of the people's suffering and of the harm they do to the country, indulge in every form of luxury and yet find themselves crammed within their own magnificence." In Lord Cujo's admonitions to his descendants, it is written, "From your hairstyle and clothing to your horse and carriage, be content with what you have. Seek neither elegance nor splendor." Thus, in his august writings on palace affairs, Emperor Juntoku says, "In all things intended for the emperor's use, simplicity is desirable." So that's the idea of simplicity. The next one, let me read it for you. "However gifted and accomplished a young man may be, if he has no inclination toward woman, one feels a sense of lack, like a precious wine cup missing its bottom. Admire the condition of the lover, drenched with dew and frost, wandering aimlessly, ever seeking to escape the censure of the world and the reproaches of his parents, beset by doubts and torments, and passing sleepless nights upon a solitary bed. Yet a man must not become a slave to debauchery, nor make himself a habitual companion of women." The next one is really short. In fact, so short, it's just one sentence. Let me read it for you. "Happy is the man who, mindful of the hereafter, is diligent in the path of the Buddha." And that's all. The next one goes, "Not the one who, overwhelmed by misfortune, shaves his head because he deems the world harsh and evil, but the one who withdraws completely and lives day by day, expecting nothing and asking for nothing. He is the true hermit. Indeed, one may feel, as Chunagon Akimoto said, 'Ah, to gaze upon the moon, innocent, in exile.'" The next one says, "Even for the noble, and all the more for the humble, it is good to be without children. The imperial prince, the prime minister Kanakira, the minister Kujo, and the minister of the left Hanazono all held that it was fortunate to have no descendants. Such was also the case with the minister of Somdono, and it is written in the history of old man Yotsugi that it is a disastrous when a man's descendants decline after him. It is even said that Prince Shotoku when he had his own tomb constructed, had the paths leading to it cut off and blocked, for he intended to leave no posterity. The next one is slightly longer than what we have read so far, couple of paragraphs, but I really like the idea here. Let me read it. If we were to live forever, then men would no longer know the poignant beauty of things. In truth, the beauty of life lies in its uncertainty. Among all living beings, none lives as long as man. Think of the mayfly that awaits the coming of evening, and of the summer cicada that knows no spring nor autumn. Even a single year of peaceful life seems long and supremely happy. But for those who never tire of the world and shrink from death, 1,000 years would pass like the dream of a single night. What is it worth for a man to drag on to decrepitude of a life that must one day end? Long life brings 1,000 shames. A man ought to die before the age of 40. After that age, it is sad to see how, without a shame at his appearance, he still insists on imposing himself among others, and cherishing his offspring in the evening of his life, desires to live ever longer to see them grow and prosper. Thus he goes on, his heart bound only to worldly things, hardening himself against compassion for the transience of things. So really powerful thought here that after the age of 40, there's nothing, the youth is gone and nothing of excitement is left. And yet people try to cling on to life as if they would want to live on forever. Then the next one, it says, of all the things that lead the human heart astray, none equals carnal desire. How weak the heart is. Fragrance, for example, is but a passing thing, and although everyone knows that incense is used to perfume garments, still the human heart will always be disturbed by a subtle scent. The magician of Kume, legend says, lost his powers upon gazing at the white legs of a young woman washing clothes. This may well be true, for it was not outward adornment, but the true beauty of full and lustrous limbs. And then the next one, it says, what strikes one most in a woman is the beauty of her hair, and from the manner of her speech one may discern her quality and character, even when she is out of sight. The mere sight of a woman going about her affairs can lead the heart astray, for she will sleep in painful postures, suffer without complaint, and endure the unbearable, solely because her mind is turned toward love. Truly, deep are the roots of passion, distant its sources. Among the 6 impurities that afflict men, all the others may be driven away except this one. It is hard to uproot, and young and old, wise and foolish, alike are its slaves. Thus it is said that a rope braided from a woman's hair can bind a mighty elephant, and that the autumn stag will unfailingly come at the sound of a flute fashioned from the clogs she once wore. It is this madness that we must punish within ourselves, fear, and keep under watch. Then the next one, it says, to sit alone by lamplight, a book open before one, and to converse intimately with men of bygone generations, there is no pleasure to equal this. There are marvelous volumes such as the Wen Xuan, the works of Po Chui, the sayings of Lao Tzu and Xuangzu, and also many admirable things written in former times by scholars of our own country. And finally, this last one for you before I take your leave. It refreshes the spirit to go away from home for a while, no matter where. Wandering through the countryside, one encounters many unfamiliar sights in rustic hamlets and mountain villages. One entrusts a messenger with letters to the capital and writes, "Do not forget to send me this or that at the first opportunity." All this has its own amusement. In such a place, 1,000 thoughts arise. It is pleasant as well to slip away and retire to some mountain temple. So, with that idea, I will take your leave, and I hope you will enjoy this book if you get a chance to read it. Just like these simple thoughts that I shared with you, the book continues to throw different ideas, different musings, and they are really enjoyable to read, especially if you want to relax and have a slow evening, and along with that, want to enjoy some reading. This is a perfect companion for you. So, with that, I'll take your leave. Thank you very much for listening. I'll catch you in the next episode with another wonderful book. Thank you.